The story began on April 25th, 2000 XX at 5 p.m. in a bustling high school classroom. As the final bell rang, students started packing their bags, eager to head home after a long day. Their conversations buzzed with excitement about the social media app that had taken the country by storm. Real Account, or RA for short. Ataru Hashiwagi, a second-year student, listened as his classmates compared follower counts and shared stories from their feeds. One of them asked if he was on RA as well, but Ataru denied it. He watched them continue their lively discussion, realizing just how deeply people had become absorbed by the platform. The way his classmates spoke about RA, as if their worth depended on it, made him wonder how long it would be before everyone forgot what life was like without it.
Real Account, or some people call it RA, is the largest social networking service in the country. A few years ago, a bunch of big social networks merged into this one site. Real Account now has over 50 million users, and registering with your real name gets you links and access to all kinds of services and perks. With the countrywide success, it even received financial backing from the government, and now it's practically everywhere. It's become almost indispensable to modern life. And of course, I'm on it too. I'm just hiding it from everybody.
Ataru's thoughts were abruptly interrupted when a classmate invited him to hang out at a cafe. He declined with a shaky smile, his voice barely steady, and began his quiet walk home. There we meet Yuri, Ataru's younger sister, who was busy preparing dinner. As the two sat down to eat, Ataru anxiously brought up their family's ongoing financial struggles, while Yuri expressed her concern over her brother's growing isolation from others. Overcome with shame, Ataru excused himself from the table. He couldn't stop thinking about how it had become a sacred tradition for them to share dinner together, ever since their parents had passed away. Later that night, as Ataru sat staring at his phone, he thought,
It's just like Yuri says. I'm just acting tough. I can't really trust anybody. I guess I can't really open my heart to anyone. That's why I don't list any affiliations. But even in RA, I'm just putting on an act. It's just lies on top of lies. I've never even had a girlfriend before. These are my friends. Followers. These are the users who are interested in Ataru Kashiwagi. They're the ones who follow me. Having a lot of followers on RA gives you a bit of pride. It grants you status. 1,540 people. Even though I have no friends in the real world, in RA, I have all these guys. In this world, I can open my heart a little.
As Ataru dwelled on the tangled mess of his life inside and outside of RA, a sharp chime cut through his thoughts. His screen lit up with a single message. He had risen to 4th place in the global rankings. For a brief moment, disbelief and pride flickered in his chest. Yet, behind that glowing screen, an unseen storm was already beginning to stir. One that would soon shatter everything he knew.
The game shall now begin.
A sudden flash engulfs everything, and in an instant, Ataru finds himself standing in complete darkness. As his eyes adjust, he realizes, with growing horror, that he's no longer in the real world. He has been transported inside the social network platform, Real Account. Confusion and panic ripple through the crowd of people who've appeared beside him, each struggling to comprehend what just happened. Then, cutting through the murmurs. A familiar voice echoes in the void, cheerful yet eerily detached. It's Marble, the smiling mascot of RA, ready to speak.
You guys just couldn't keep yourselves away from RA. And now, your minds are trapped in real account too.
Marble then announced that each contestant now had a number printed on their forearm, their identification within real account. With an unsettling grin, he revealed footage of their bodies in the real world, motionless, lying in hospital beds, trapped in a comatose state. The truth struck like a thunderclap. If they died in RA, they would die in reality as well. As panic rippled through the crowd, furious voices rose in protest, their pleas echoing in the dark void around them. But Marble only chuckled, his expression unreadable, before conjuring a chilling visual display that laid bare the deadly circumstances they were now bound to.
Do you all understand now? In other words, if you die, your followers will all die of unknown causes along with you.
Marble stood above the trembling crowd, his voice rising in excitement. Now then, it's time for the first game, Real Follower Diagnosis. The word shimmered across the air in bright neon before twisting into a deep crimson hue. The rules are simple, Marble announced, his grin widening. Each of your followers will have 3 minutes to decide whether to keep following you or save themselves. If your follower count drops to 0, he paused, letting the silence linger. You die. A collective gasp rippled through the contestants. Their screens lit up, timelines exploding with notifications. And remember, Marble added, his voice echoing through the void, this is being broadcast nationwide. The fate of every contestant lies in the hands of the people who claim to care about them. Panic erupted instantly. Contestants shouted into their devices, frantically calling friends, family, and fans.
Is there anyone you're really connected to? Is there anyone who really trusts you? Does anyone really love you?
As the follower counts continued to fall, the world watched in horrified silence. Fear crept into every heart, not just the players, but the viewers as well. Lovers hesitated, friends unfollowed, families wavered, and in that moment, Real Account revealed something far darker than death itself, the fragile illusion of human connection. Were those bonds deep like the ocean, or shallow as a swamp? Amid the chaos, Ataru's follower count plummeted. 1,000, 100, then 1. The inevitability of his fate set in like a cold weight. Desperate, he called his little sister, pleading through trembling breaths for her to unfollow him and save herself. But Yuri refused. Her voice, soft yet resolute, echoed through the receiver. You promised we'd eat dinner together, remember? Tears welled in Ataru's eyes. As the timer ticked down, 13 seconds, 12, 11, he made his final choice. With a shaking hand, he blocked his sister on Real Account, cutting the last tie that could doom her. Then he closed his eyes and waited for the end. But the end never came. When he dared to look, the number still read 1 follower. In that moment, a spark flickered in his chest. Someone still cared. Someone still believed in him. When the first deadly game finally ended, the screen displayed the survivors' count. 4,684 remaining out of 10,000.
The half of the people who didn't make it. Those 5,136 others were not necessary. to a single person. This is what their life choices led to. And one last thing. Those who dropped to 0 followers and died would only get in the way. So, good riddance.
A deafening chain of explosions ripped through the arena as the bodies of the fallen contestants burst into clouds of digital fragments and crimson light. The air trembled with the echo of despair. Ataru could only watch, frozen, as the horror unfolded before him. The reality of Marble's cruelty seared into his mind, erasing any trace of disbelief he once had. The game wasn't just a spectacle, it was real. As the dust settled, something inside Ataru shifted. The fear that once consumed him hardened into resolve.
What have I been doing all this time? Lying to myself, escaping from reality. But at the very least, there's someone that thinks I'm necessary. I have to survive. And that's why I have to change.